Hi everybody, this one's a little bit unusual. I just wanted to show you how you can create a landscape with so little. I am starting a background and I'm just going to put in just a tiny bit of sky. Look how I'm using some wool roving, some blue, on a calico background. So where I have put the blue looks like sky, where I haven't looks like clouds. I've also added in a nice sort of greeny orange area, which I'm sort of thinking looks almost like hills. Then I start adding seed stitch. Seed stitch, so simple. Just up and down in different directions. So I've used a teal color here and a dark green in both the hills and up above the hills, where I'm trying to create a dense area that will be the bottom or the background layer of some trees. Ever notice with trees that you get areas that you can't see through, and parts where you can see the sky, and other bits where the sun is shining through and you'll get light on it and it will show up. So this is what we're creating. You can see already I've added in some areas too to the green hill area, and that sort of accentuated and made it look like hills because I've added basically some shading still with the seed stitch. Beautiful seed stitch. You really don't need a lot more when it comes to this kind of thing. And yeah, big, small, large, thicker, thinner threads. Sometimes you might use one stranded thread, sometimes you might use some thicker thread, or 3 strands of thread, or anything you like. But look at how it all builds up. I've fast forwarded this so that you can get a view of how quickly it can all come together without making you sit through every single stitch. But I really do like this. The sky is dramatic and it leads you down into that area there. And over time, we're building up a little tree area. That will be where my trees are to the right. And so this is just the background layer. Now it'll always be thicker towards the bottom of the trees. I mean the bottom layer of the leaves, of course. And, eventually I'm going to add in some thicker lines of brown, long stitches, basically a seed stitch. And that will be the trunks. And you can see through that, of course. You can still see the sky. Here they are now. So that's given me an idea. That's where my trees are going to be. I haven't got them all straight. I've got some off to one direction, some another. Some are laid down like a tree has fallen. But I put them in just so I've got a basic idea. Now I'm using some more seed stitches to just sort of get that definition happening there. And it's starting to fill in nicely. I quite like it. Now, when we were doing we'll just watch this for a moment. When we were doing the putting in the roving, the wool roving, straight off a sheep's back, and it's dyed and it's lovely, and you can buy that quite cheaply. And you can buy a needle quite cheaply. Needle is barbed, and you use that with like a felt, a thick kind of foam behind it, so you don't hurt yourself because they can be very sharp. And you just poke, and what you're doing is forcing the fibers of that wool through that calico that I've got there, background, and making it stick in to the fabric. So such a simple way. If you didn't have that, then you could just use maybe some paint, some fabric paint, or add a bit of textile medium to some ordinary paint, and create a sky and a basic background that way. But look at how it's developing now, and with so little, you're already, showing a really nice kind of atmospheric landscape. I like the way that it curls on both sides. It's almost following the lines of that arc. so that it's sort of circular. I don't know, it's better than just having a plain line. It's developing atmosphere. So now I'm using a really brighter color green, and that's, or a yellowy green almost, and that's the lighter leaves, you know, that the sun is catching and showing up. They'll be on top of the darker ones that are acting as the shadow colors. The ones that are, yeah, more at the top too, because that's where the light will be getting to. So creating a landscape. It's the art of the needle. So not much more to do now here. Really the point of the exercise here is just to show you how much you can do with seed stitch. I love seed stitch. In fact, loads of times I sort of think it's a single stitch that you can do so much with, you know, whether it's straight stitch or what have you. But look at this seed stitch. I'm using it as shading. I'm using it to draw with. In the sky here now, I'm adding in some white bits and some blue to sort of shade that cloud in to make it look more realistic. And it's working. I've lengthened some to make them look like the trunks or the stems or some broken branches or whatever. You know, I could add some extra ones into the sky and make them look like birds if I wanted to. This is fun, you know, and it's free. Very freeing to just have a go and see what you end up with. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, if it doesn't end up as you think it will. What you do is you just keep going. I wasn't planning this. This is something that built itself. And I love mistakes. I love that, you know, it will be intended to be one thing and it ends up something else because, oh, okay, it seems to be that I need something more over here, or, you know, I didn't intend that, but there we go. There it is. Lovely. And, yeah, you could add in a fence if you wanted on that horizon, add in some bushes. But I quite like the idea. It's sort of abstract. I like it. Have a go.